Unit 6 Completing Business Message. Question number C Concept Based Answer Questions 2023 August September. Question number 7 Why does a document needed proofreading? What steps are taken while proofreading a document? Answer Proofreading is the quality inspection stage for our document. It is our last chance to make sure that our document is readily carry the message and reputations to the Indian audience. The problem of proofreading are of two types. First, undetected mistake from the writing, design and layout stage, and second, mistake the crept during production. The importance of the proofreading is great methodological approach to the proofed read while will help you find the problem that need to be fixed. The proofreading is important the content purpose. First of all, it is a quality inspection stage. Second, it is that the last chance to verify about to the factuality. Third, we get the last chance to correct the mistake because a small mistake carries the big wrong message. The following are the tips for successful proofreadings. First of all, so make multiple passes. Go through the document several times, focusing on the different aspect each time to identify error in constant typographic, grammatically, spelling, layout, spacing, page numbers, margin and design features. Second, we use precise trick. Try to read the text differently to avoid the bearing of repeated readings. Third, double check. Do the double checking on high priority items. Fourth, give yourself some distance. You make times gaps between your reading and rereading. Fifth, be vigilant. Avoid reading large amount of materials in one setting and try not to proofread when you are tried. Sixth, stay focused, concentrated on what you are doing. Seventh, review complex electronic document on paper. Reading on paper is more effectively than on the monitor. Eight, take your time. Quickly proofreading is not careful proofreading. Question number 2. 2017 mock-up question number 6. Explain the importance of proofreading and give any 6 tips for the successful proofreading. Proofreading is the quality inspection stage for our document. It is our last chance to make sure that our document is ready to carry for the message and reputations in the intended audience. The problem of proofreading are of two types. First of all, underdirected mistake from the writing, design and layout stage. Second, mistakes that cropped in during production. The importance of proofreading is great methodological approach to proofreading will help you find the problem that need to be fixed. The proofreading is important for the content certain purpose. First of all, it is quality inspection stage. Second, it is the last chance to verify about its factuality. We get last chance to correct the mistake because a small mistake carry the big wrong message. The following are the tips for the successful proofreading. Is first of all, make multiple passes. Go through the documents several times, focusing on a different aspect each time. Is in identify error in constant typographical, grammatical, spelling, layout, spacing, page number, margin and design features. Second, use precise tricks. Try to read that different to avoid the brewing of repeated reading. Third, double check high priority them. Fourth, give your some distance, make times gaps between your reading and rewriting. Fifth, be violent. Avoid reading large amount of materials in one setting and try not to be proofread when you are tired. Stay focused, concentrated on what you are doing. Seventh, review complex electronic document on paper. Reading on paper is more effectively than on the monitors. 8. Take your time. Quickly proofreading is not a careful proofreading. Question number 3. Why is the helpful to put your first draft aside for a while before you begin the editing process? Answer: editing is the very sensitive process of the writing message. If we miss mistakes to be edited, no one is getting to take the responsibility rather than the writer himself. The reading editing even helps to rewrite or review mistakes for the writer, so we have to take us time required the revisions. When we make the editing, we should be able to give the critical view that it had been written by ourselves. The first draft must have been kept aside because we can bring a new view during this time, so that we can approach the materials with fresh eyes. Start with the big pictures, making sure that the document complies our overall goals before moving into a finer point such as reliability, clarity, and conscience. Editing on or others work might have some difference. Editing on give you a chance to view and on accuracy, relevance, satisfactory, balanced, logical, convincing, repeating of the information we have include during editing. And others work, the editor must think of about purpose, target audience, relevancy, well organized you attitude, tone, readability, clarity, conscience, design of the work presented. If we are able to avoid all the places of the writing and editing process, we can present the better work by editing. So it is important to keep assist the first draft of the work while doing editing. Question number 4. Discuss the value of careful revision and identify the 3 key aspects to consider when evaluating your first draft. Careful revisions of the written text is necessarily important when go for the further step of the writing message. The first draft became rarely as tight, clear, and compelling as it needs to be. Careful revisions means the chosen observation rather than the revolving and unfocused message. The careful revision helps to achieve optimum quality and that producting and proofreading and disturbing it. There might be different medium of the reviewing the message. The revisions might be in the messaging, text messaging, email, or blogging. It should be reviewed before sending or posting. When we deal with the more complex message, we try to look at it with fresh eyes. The test need to be watched by the completed new perspective, so that it will be able to the accomplish the overall goals before moving to finer point. These three basic key aspects to be considered when evaluating the first draft are readability. The message that we write should be with the appreciated use of the words, language, and dictions. The text should be easily read. The use of the jargon should be appreciated. The message should be luring, able the draw the attentions of the readers by its language. Second, clarity. The message should be clear. The message should be clear about its use and the message that it carries. The ambiguity must be erased with the message. The first draft evaluating and revising must be focused on the clarity of the written text. Third, cohesiveness. The swift and short message is ready by all. Nowadays, the written message is early and read completely. So the message must be size and be able to carry the exact message perfectly. Question number 5. List to 4 techniques you can use to improve the readability of your message. Though the reality cannot be measured by any set of formula, and the role we try to make the message more effective and increase the readability of the message by different techniques. The presentation is improved by giving effectively handling bullet list and other features to help the readers be more quickly and find for the major issue conclusion and recommendations. We describe here basic 4 technique. First, varying sentence length. There are 3 types of the sentence. The long, medium and short sentence are used according to the situation and the need of the audience understanding level. Second, keeping the paragraph short. The precise and short paragraphs are sweet and swift. The longer paragraphs create only the difficulties to read. The short paragraphs attracted the readers in the comparisons to the long paragraphs. Third, using list of clarify and emphasize rather than writing in long paragraphs. The use of the point and list make the message more effectively and easy to grasp. Fourth, adding and subboundings. Use of the heading and subbounding in the message proves that the message is more planted and it refined way. In draw the reader's attentions to the key point, and the message became more informative and that the descriptive. Question number 6. Describe 8 steps you can take to improve the clarity of your writing, and give 4 tips on making your writing more concise. Clarity is the most essential nature of the message then we write. When the message fails to be clear in the understood, the motives of message fails in the stage of improvising the message or writing. We take content in each step. First, break of a overly long sentence. The unnecessary long sentence should be broken in make precise meaning. Second, rewrite hedging sentence. Hedgings making the sentence with low confidence of meaning, so we have to rewrite this sentence. Third, impose parallelisms. Two or similar ideas must be put parallelly. Fourth, correct dangling modifier. The unnecessary word must be corrected. Fifth, reward long non-sequence. Sometimes rephrasing became incidental. Sixth, replace conjugated verbs. Some deciding verbs needs to be corrected. Seventh, clarify sentence structures. The sentence structure should support grammatically support structures. Eight, clarify awkward reference. The reference must be precise rather than a random reference. Now we can improve the clarity of the message by making shorter by using content revising technique. First, delete unnecessary word and phrase. Second, shorten the long words and phrase. Third, ultimated redundancy. Fourth, recast. It is there are stereos. Whatever we write, every words in the phrase should be a contributor in the message, and that should be helpful to build a coherent paragraphs. Thanks for watching. Keep supporting us.